What's up guys? Just got back from the LA regional and guess what? Your boy topped. I came in 18th place, finished the day 7-2, only lost 4 games all day. I honestly played out of my mind compared to how I usually play. It was a pretty good day for me, so I'm extremely happy. Got my invite to nationals, pretty sick. Quick tournament report for you guys. So there's 9 rounds. The tournament was 14 hours. It was insane. We were there from like 8 a.m. 8:30 till midnight, 1 in the morning. It was nuts. Cliff bars, Skittles, water. It's all we had. It was crazy. So round 1, I ended up playing a baby. Caught me off guard a little bit. Luckily, my deck just outperformed them. I played SS3 red blue, of course, standard, but I teched a little bit more towards defense, and it paid off in the long run. I was able to take down a few decks, including in the second round a Trunks blue-red aggro deck. I 2-0'd that one. Round 3 was an SS3 blue, 2-0'd him as well. It's really not fair, the red blue versus the mono blue. It's like, if you awaken after they do, it's game over pretty much. Fourth round, not so well. I ran up against probably the best deck in the format, the High Rudigarn Yellow Blue Storm. He 2-0'd me in, I believe it's like 17 minutes. It was insane. Literally just played like 2 cards, a couple Sensu Beans. The second game, I was able to survive till he got to 3 energy, so that was honestly a win, I think, for how bad of a matchup that is. Was able to defend a lot and survive a little bit, but that deck's crazy, man. Shout out to that dude, Manny. He just whooped my ass. I think he came in 11th. Round 5 was a mirror match, SS3 red-blue. I 2-0'd him. Honestly, people don't understand how to play that deck well. They awaken way too fast. They awaken and then Zeno. It's like, all I gotta do to beat you in that matchup is force you to awaken before me, get the Chain of Trunks, Chain Attack, and the Zeno in hand, and then hit you, and I got like 3 or 4 cards on you, and it's game over. Foreseen hit you the next turn, and it's game. Like, there's nothing you can do. The next round was another SS3 blue, mono blue. That one I lost a round. I won game 1, lost game 2, won game 3. One of the closer matches. Those games were grind. Shout out to that dude. I think he was on one of the LA teams, but that game was so back and forth, so much fun. Great playing, you guys. Then round 7 was another SS3 blue. I 2-0'd that guy. Same story over and over. Then round 8 was probably one of the toughest matchups. This was crazy. It was versus Trunks blue-red. I won first game. He won second game, and then I won the third game. This was insane. He went balls to the wall on me, but the tech choices I made in my deck paid off big time. I was able to, amass beans and negates in my hand, maximize the number of 5K draws, or not 5K draw, 5K combo pieces, and just defensive cards in general. And you'll see in the deck profile after this what kind of I teched in just to maintain and be able to get through to the 4 energy and really snap back and kill those aggro players. But shout out to him. He was on Intricate Gaming, Intrinsic? I think it was in Intricate Gaming. Great player. He messed up. He comboed 1 too many. Wasn't able to finish me off with 1 more attack. And I snapped back, top decked a Fearless, or Foreseen hit, and took his 2 cards and swung for game. Feels bad, but it is what it is. And then the final match in round 9 at table 3. What a game. So it was a mirror match, SS3 red-blue. The first game lasted, I think, 37 minutes. We literally Zenoed each other back and forth like, I don't know, 6 times. It was insanity. That guy, such a fun game. We almost got done with game 2. Time went off. I had 3 life, he had 1. He got me down to 2, or he double struck me with no cards in my hand. He got me down to 1. And then I snap back with a Chain Zeno to try to kill him. And he draws off his Zeno redraw. He draws 2 Whis Coercion, 1 Mafuba, 1 Topo, and something else. This food defended 4 attacks per game in the last 30 seconds of the match to get the draw and him get the match win for the round. It was really frustrating, but if there's 10 more seconds in that game or 1 more attack, it was a draw. I'm in top 8. Would have been awesome. But I'm happy with top 18. It's my first top. Pretty amazing. Great day, long day. And hopefully we can do it again in Vegas. we'll see what we do. So I'm gonna run you through the deck I ran. It is pretty straightforward, but I'll talk about the ton of choices I made and why. So I ran SS3. You know what he does. You love him, you hate him. He's the guy. He's one of the only, super solid decks right now that can handle the aggro decks, just because the energy on tap. And if you play your cards right, you can really, give them a hell of a time. Start with the defensive package. Start with 4 Weast Coercion. Obviously, one of the best negates in the game. Keeps your energy standing, allows you to play other defensive stuff on your turn. MVP of the week, one of the MVPs, 4 Senzu Bean. This card's crazy. This is how I was able to beat the Trunks players. I just mulliganed my whole hand for negates, Senzu Beans, Yajirobis, any kind of defense, and was able to, I double beamed, and they destroy their whole hand trying to kill you, and you're able to get past that hump and snap back on them. I have 2 legendary flutes. Almost didn't play this card, but the night before going in, I really sat down and thought about it, and I was like, I'm gonna see a lot of aggro. And in combination with this next card, it's just insane. So I play 4 of the Raging Spirit. I know a lot of people like playing this at 3, but I thought going into the weekend, just because there's so much aggro, it's one of your best defensive options. I wanted to see multiple every game. So really running 4 of these plus 2 of these equals about 6 or more Gohans, and you get a draw off them. It's just crazy. Fills your hand up. Another guy that I teched in and subbed out some of the more standard cards for this deck is Yajirobe. I love this card in the mono blue deck, and I actually think it's really great in the mirror match. And versus all those small aggro decks, you just put them out there and it shuts down their turn. They get through attack of their leader, you get a card, and then anything crit, just KO it. In the mirror match, if they drop a Kefla or a hit, anything, basically they can't do anything because they don't have enough removal. If they're not running removal, this punishes them big time. They can waste a flute on it, but you just play it next turn, they lose a card, you gain a card, it's pretty great. Obviously we play 4 super combos, of course. We play the Piccolo, always want that draw. Then we play 4 Unbreakable Spirit Sun Gokus. This is just 8 super combos essentially. And in SS3, it's an absolute must play, especially in the red-blue version. Then 3 Burst Attack Sun Gohans. This card came in clutch. Anytime your hand gets small, or you're sitting there and you got one of these in your hand and you really want to get a damage through on them, you bust this card out, you play it, you draw 2. It just fills you back up. It's amazing. Then 2 Topos. So because we're playing extra 1-cost 10Ks, I dropped the Topo down to 2, just because a lot of times you want to use that red energy for these 1-cost cards and not waste it on him. Because if you waste it on him, like versus the Hurdigarn player, one of the games I lost is because I played the Topo and he battering lasered it. And I was out of energy and unable to defend the attack, and he won. So it's risky, and a lot of the times getting the draw and even the guy on board is a better decision than the Topo. But in the mirror match, Topo's fantastic. Then we play, for awakening purposes, Intensifying Power Trunks. We play 4 of him. You want to see him. A lot of the games, you actually don't. In the aggro deck, I sided him out every time. You just don't need it. I maybe left 1 just to guarantee, just to see it. But a lot of the times, you just take them out because they're going to attack you, and it doesn't matter. Like, you're going to awaken when you want to awaken. You want more combo pieces and just better cards. Then, of course, one of the best cards in the game, if not the best card in the game, Chain Attack Trunks. Broke as a joke, especially when you play it with 3 Zenos. Anytime almost every one of the games, I would force them to awaken early by just attacking and swinging with the Gohans, keeping them out on the board, and then they awaken. The next turn, I play either this guy, then this guy, drop him out, blow up their whole board, send their entire giant hand back to the deck. I awaken, draw 2, swing, draw another 1. They're just so far behind. And then if I have it in hand and redraw it, and this is why we play this at 4, it's the best card in the game, you gotta play it at 4 for seeing hit. This card after you Zeno is a game stealer. It's over. Like, they go from having 5 or 6, maybe 7 cards if they attacked in hand, to having 3, 4, and you can know exactly what you need to do for go for game. Then finisher card in the deck is Kefla. This card is fantastic. It's one of those cards that I think was overlooked by a lot of people. but after you play it and you realize, you know, she's swinging for 35,000 and she draws you a card, you get 2 cards and 2 attacks out of her. All those Vegetos people are playing that are sitting on the board, she just runs right through them. And then of course, our overall package, you don't want to play too much in SS3 because you don't want to see the black cards in your energy. And I actually avoided that all day until the last round. I think it was one of the reasons I didn't do so well in the last round is because I had a black energy. But you know, it's a great finisher. It's a great follow-up to Zeno. If you can keep it, a lot of times I would have it in hand, not play it, put it back in the deck with Zeno, and hopefully draw into it afterwards, and then, you know, plus even harder. So the sideboard, I teched for a few decks, one being the mono blue and the mirror. So in the mirror, you want to, let's get this out of the way. In the mirror, it's gonna go long. It's gonna be a long, grindy game. I had, you know, in the last round, I think we probably went 8, 9 turns. It was insane. But I played one Shrouded in Mystery, came in clutch a couple games. Didn't really need it all that much, but the games where you do play it, it's crazy. Then 2 Mafuba, so this is for things like Kefla or Beerus. You need it. I would usually mainboard this, but because we're seeing so many aggro decks, I'd put it in the side. Wasn't expecting to see so many SS3s, but I teched it in every time. Then I played 2 Vegeto. Didn't really put this in that often. It came in clutch one game. It's not super great in the deck, but I thought against kind of if there's anybody playing veggies or anything, I thought this would be a great card to throw in there. Dimensional Banisher Fu at 2, and I played pretty much 2 of everything in the sideboard. It was pretty good. Some of them I wish I played them at 3, but Dimensional Banisher, basically you swap them out for Scientist Fu if you need removal, and well, I didn't need in a lot of games. I put in 2 of the Majin to Fire West Supreme Kai. This is also another great card in the mirror match, and it's also a great card in the energy lock deck. So you're able to put this out on board with 2 energy, and it gets you a +1 on them in terms of energy, and they're unable to kill this one. So if you can sit there at 3, keep going to 3, and you have this on board, you're at 4, and that turns on the whole deck. And in that matchup, I sub out anything that's, almost everything that's 5, or anything that's 5 or higher, and sub in everything that's lower. Another card that came in super clutch was Terra Salt Frost. First, those mono blue decks, like multiple guys are trying to play multiple Bergamos on me. I think I killed 3 Bergamos in one game with this. I attacked once, it got KO'd, played another one, KO'd another Bergamo, and then I Zenoed it back to my deck and got it again and played it again and killed a Bergamo. It was pretty ridiculous. Then for the aggro matchups and the energy lock deck, I put in 2 Bodyguard Legic, just more free defense and another Swinger. And then another thing that I think is great against the energy lock deck, and really any of these decks that are running these super small, you know, Videls or Bulmas, is Miraculous Comeback Gohan. And if, you know, in these energy lock decks or the combo heavy aggro decks, you're gonna have to combo your whole hand to get out of attacks. And having him in hand afterwards on the snapback, if you can survive for only 2 energy on turn 2, that they're probably down really low. So if you're able to get keep any 10Ks in hand or any kind of something like that, if you draw into something good, you just slap them on the board, swing at the lowest guy on the table, hope they don't have a negate, and go for game. I wasn't able to do it, but the opportunity didn't really come up, but I still think it's a great card in that matchup. I actually avoided the lock deck all week, or all weekend, and I'm pretty happy about that. I would have liked to see how it fared, but I avoided it, and it's pretty good. So LA was pretty cool. It was long. They didn't handle it super great. I thought the judges did a pretty good job from what I saw. There was a lot of time between rounds, which was really frustrating. Like, you'd wait almost like, you know, half hour, 45 minutes in the first few rounds. Between rounds, they almost took as long as the actual games. I know the other guys on the team didn't do as well as I did. They went up against a lot of draws and a lot of mirror matches that took forever and would end up going 1-1 with someone and then drawing. They also saw a lot of the lock decks, which kind of, they didn't tech super great against them, and they weren't able to overcome those guys. But, you know, next time, we're going to Portland. Hopefully, I'm not, I'll be in Japan, but the guys are going to Portland. Hopefully they'll do good there, and then we're going to Vegas. So, and hopefully I'll see you guys at the Nationals. Should be cool. It was great to see some of you guys that ran into us there. I know the Pan player, he sat down and was like, oh, are you this scatterboard dude? He's like, yeah, man, what's up? He's like, oh shit, I started my deck with your pan list. That's so cool to see, guys. Like, I love hearing that, and I'm glad people are enjoying the channel. And, you know, hopefully we see you at these events. Look out for us, say hi, and thanks guys. Till next time.